Afghanistan qualified for the 2015 World Cup after beating Kenya in the ICC World Cricket League Championship in Dubai. ESPNcricinfo caught up with Paul Radley, who's been covering Afghan cricket for the last 5 years, for a first-hand account of this momentous occasion for Afghan cricket.
The scenes were absolutely extraordinary to see. It's a real privilege to be at a day of cricket like this, which is so totally unlike a lot of the cricket that we see usually, because this is a new set of fans that international cricket is not used to seeing. Luckily, fortunately for me, I've seen a lot of cricket in the UAE where Afghanistan play their home game, so I've been privileged to see what Afghan cricket supporters are like at first hand. And today, while it wasn't a surprise, it was still an absolutely amazing scene to witness. When Mohamed Nabi hit the winning runs, the outpouring was just extraordinary, really. All of the players, to a man, said this felt totally differently. This is the thing that when we first learned the game and we were first sort of developing a national team, this is what we aimed for. We aimed for the 50 over World Cup. We didn't make it 4 years ago and it hurt us. And having to wait 4 years and build up to the chance to do it again, and they've done it in pretty difficult circumstances again, to actually make it means more to them than anything else they've achieved so far in cricket.
Afghanistan's journey to their first ever World Cup hasn't been an easy one. A number of players from the national squad have grown up in tough times given the civil and political unrest in the nation over the last decade, thereby making this dream all the more special.
Basically, there's about 6 or 7, I think I counted 6 players in this team today. The nucleus of the team also played when their World Cup sort of qualification aspirations first got known about in 2008. They played in the tournament in Jersey and just about won it. And then ever since then, they've really climbed the rankings. 6 of the players that were playing that day were also playing today. And to a man, they all learnt their cricket in refugee camps across the border in Pakistan. In actual fact, a lot of those players, or certainly a number of that era of the team, were actually born in refugee camps in Pakistan. They went back, when they went back to Afghanistan 10 years ago, just 12, 15 years ago. It was the first time they'd actually gone to the land that they called home. So they picked up this game in the refugee camps where they were staying because it was the game of the local people. A lot of the players, a lot of that 2008 vintage anyway, said that their favourite players were guys like Imran Khan, and their favourite matches were when Pakistan went to the World Cup final and things like that. Now they've gone back, they've taken the sport with them. It's obviously caught on massively by the looks of things, and the Afghan people don't have to look to Pakistan for their heroes anymore. They've got their own, I'd imagine.
Contrary to nations such as Ireland and Scotland when they first made the World Cup, Afghanistan's new heroes are already full-time professional cricketers, and Radley believes this shows in their game.
Those sort of fairy tale stories of guys turning up to play when they've done a full day's work elsewhere are sort of dying out actually at this level. In fact, the 2 teams that are the market leaders at associate and affiliate level, Afghanistan and Ireland, virtually, well, they're fully professionals. A lot of the Irish players have contracted at county teams in the UK and England, and all the Afghan players here, they just play cricket. That's all they do. They don't have other jobs. They don't have studies to do. In terms of Afghanistan and Ireland, they're now all fully professional players, and it shows in their performance because they're outstanding teams.
Cricket in Afghanistan has spread increasingly thanks to local media support for the game, and Radley thinks this will seriously help propagate the sport to many more back home.
Yeah, there's been some Afghan Pashto-speaking radio channels in the past that have come here. There's been television channels, website feeds, things like that, that are obviously passionately into the game themselves. They seem very, very knowledgeable on the game, bearing in mind the first time the Afghans tried to qualify for the World 2020, they came over here. There were 2 radio presenters from a radio station called Salam Watanda, and they were learning the game themselves. They didn't know the terms for. They were trying to sort of come up with cricket terms that didn't translate basically, and they were trying to come up with terms in Pashto that they could sort of convey the action with, rather than the normal cricket terms that it seems everybody is completely au fait with now. And in terms of further coverage to that, apparently there were 5 ministerial, 5 members of parliament that were at the game that actually sat in front of our commentary box here. Apparently Hamid Karzai was even watching, President Karzai was apparently watching back at home in Kabul, and it seems like the game has really caught on. All the players say that it's absolutely the number one thing in Afghanistan now, so I can imagine the celebrations will be quite raucous at the moment back in Kabul.
So Afghanistan's berth is firmly sealed in Group A of the next World Cup, and for a nation with just 27 ODIs under their belt, the 6 at least down under will surely be an experience to remember.